welcome to my kitchen. Today we're making my favorite key lime pie recipe. This key lime pie recipe is from Once Upon a Chef. Most of the time I'm constantly creating my own recipes or new recipes, but this is just one of those recipes that does not need to be tweaked. It is perfect the way it is, and it hits every single time. So I'm going to show you this super easy key lime pie recipe that has become a staple in my home, and especially with the warm weather coming, it's perfect. We'll be pairing this today with a nice homemade batch of green tea with some mint and simple syrup. It's going to be the perfect pairing for a nice spring day, and I'll take you right into summer. All right, let's get started. For this key lime pie, you'll need 1.5 cups graham cracker crumbs, 1/3 cup packed light brown sugar, 4 tablespoons melted unsalted butter, 2 14-ounce cans sweetened condensed milk, 1 cup plain Greek yogurt, 2% or whole, 1 tablespoon grated lime zest, 3/4 cup fresh lime juice, 1 cup cold heavy cream, 2 tablespoons confectioner's sugar, and 8 to 10 thin lime slices. This recipe is so simple. You can tell there's not even that many ingredients, and I just love the way this turns out. It's like creamy and decadent, and it's got the zest from the lime, and we're not even using key limes. We're just using regular limes, which is amazing because I don't know about you, but I can never find key limes in the grocery store. So we're going to start by making our graham cracker crust, which is so simple. We're just going to use a pie pan. What is it called? We're going to start by building this just in the pie dish itself. So this is a 9x9 and then 2 inches deep. This is perfect for this. I'm just going to pour my graham cracker crust right in. And then my dark brown or light brown sugar. I had dark brown, whichever you have is totally fine. And then my melted butter. And then with your hands, just get this all together, and then we can start to form it into the pie crust. So we'll just mix this in by hand. It's the easiest way to do it until everything is incorporated, and then it's going to feel like wet sand, like the kinetic sand that your kids play with. And just make sure you're getting out all the lumps of the brown sugar, the lumpiest sugar that there ever is, but they'll all come out eventually. I make a really similar crust with my dulce de leche cheesecake, so I'll link that below, but you'll get the tutorial on that recipe as well. But I just love a good graham cracker crust. All right, it's starting to feel like kinetic sand. The way you know that this is done is when you press it in your palm and it stays together. That's when you know you have enough butter and you've mixed it all the way through. So once you get to that stage, now we can start pressing it into the pie crust, pressing it into the pie pan. What is it called? A pie? What did you call it? Pie dish. Pie dish. Thank you. All right. Once it's done and it's all mixed through, you're going to start pushing it into your pie dish and forming your pie crust. And you want to make sure you get it as even as possible. What I love about this recipe is the pie crust is nice and thick. And I just think with like the creaminess of the key lime pie filling, a nice thick crust just holds up so well to it. It's so delicious. I found this recipe years ago just by Googling like easy key lime pie recipe with no eggs because I wanted something a little different, easier. A lot of times with key lime pie recipes, you end up doing like a lime curd and it's a little bit more involved. This is so easy because you don't need to do that and you just use a sweetened condensed milk, yogurt, and lime juice. That's the filling. So I loved how simple it was and it just became a staple in my home. But I literally Googled this and nothing needs to be changed with this recipe. It is perfection. Thanks again to Once Upon a Chef because you really nailed this. And this recipe has come to many, many parties with me. All right. So once your crust looks good and it's pretty evenly spread out, we're going to take this and put this in the oven for 10 minutes on 375 just to get it baked, golden brown, and firm. Because this filling is just so liquidy and wet. So having a nice firm crust to start with, it doesn't break down under the amount of kind of liquid that goes in here. So we're going to bake this for 10 minutes and then we'll put our filling in. Let's go bring it to the oven. Our pie crust is in the oven, so let's put together the filling. This filling is the easiest thing to do. That's what I love about it. We take Greek yogurt. I'm using 2%. You can use whole or 2%. Either works here. Put that into a large bowl. 2 cans of sweetened condensed milk. I like the smell of sweetened condensed milk. It smells like it smells like cooked milk is what it smells like, but in a good way. Is that weird? Something like homey about it. I don't know. I was gonna say it smells like formula, but formula smells disgusting. Now we add the 2 cans of sweetened condensed milk right to your sour cream. Nope. Right to your Greek yogurt. Oh, my brain. And then next we add our lime juice. And I use fresh squeezed lime juice. Like I said, you don't need to use key limes for this. You can just use regular limes, which is great. If you do find key limes and you want to use them, that's great. Key limes are just a little bit more tart. Honestly, with this recipe, regular limes are perfect. And then 1 tablespoon of your lime zest, which just gives it a really nice extra lift. And then you just whisk that all together. Essentially what's happening here is the lime juice curdles the milk in a way, and that's why it gets so thick. In a lot of my other recipes, I talk about not over mixing. Here, it doesn't really matter. Just whisk it until you see everything pretty nicely combined. Make sure there's no lime juice hanging out on the top. Make sure your lime zest kind of goes all the way through. Little specks of green lime zest throughout the mixture just look so appetizing to me, and it's just so pretty. All right, and then once that is all mixed up, that's ready to go into the pie crust as soon as that comes out of the oven. That is how easy this recipe is. I just love it. It's something you can just like quickly throw together before you go to a party. And this doesn't even need to sit in the fridge for very long. You can have this in the fridge for like 15 minutes before you go. Just make sure it's room temperature or a little bit of chill on it. And that's it. So it's something quick you can do while your kids are getting ready and everyone's running around and you don't even have to think about it because there's no KitchenAid mixer. And it's just one of those quick, easy desserts that I love to bring everywhere. Our crust is out of the oven. It got nice and golden brown around the edges. Now all we do is put our filling into our crust and then we'll put that back into the oven for 15 minutes. And I've lowered my oven temperature to 350 from 375, which it was on to bake the crust. So like I said, the easiest recipe, as this is sitting too, this filling is getting like thicker and thicker. Like I said, it like curdles the milk, so it's supposed to be doing that. So if you see it getting thicker, that's okay. And now I'm just smoothing it out, making sure it's evenly spread throughout the crust. It's looking good. It's still very hot. All right, that is ready for the oven. So we'll put that in for 15 minutes. Had to grab my oven gloves. Let's go put it back in. The key lime pie is in the oven, so I'm going to prep our pairing. We're making iced green tea with mint and a little simple syrup, which is going to be the perfect bright, fresh lift for this key lime pie. I'm going to use the Bigelow. What's the Gigolo? It's the Bigelow green tea. The classic is my favorite for this. It's perfect. I'm going to use 5 tea bags in my cute little pitcher. Get yourself a cute pitcher because it romanticizes the moment. It's just iced green tea. Pouring it out of a cute pitcher just makes you feel like you're in a movie. What I do with the tea bags too, I just kind of tie them around the outside and then I'll cut them off after. If you like your tea stronger, go ahead and add 6 or 7. I think 5 is perfect for a pitcher this size. All right, let's go grab our kettle and then we'll let this steep for about 10 minutes. I'm gonna pop this in the fridge to let it steep so that way it's cooling down and steeping at the same time. And then we'll put together our iced tea with our slice of key lime pie. Now for the topping for our key lime pie, we're gonna make a homemade whipped cream. Feel free to buy a whipped cream for this if you like that, but it's so easy to make homemade whipped cream and it takes 2 seconds. I definitely need to get myself a hand mixer because I had to get down my KitchenAid just to make a whipped cream. So that I will have the next time we do this. I'm going to have a hand mixer. But this time I have my KitchenAid with my whisk attachment. I'm just going to add 1 cup of heavy cream, 2 tablespoons of powdered sugar, and about a tablespoon of vanilla. And that's it. And we'll whip it until it's nice and fluffy. And then that will be the topping of our key lime pie with some sliced limes. It'll look so pretty. So there's nothing to this. We just pour about a cup of heavy cream, which for me is going to be half of this container. Our 2 tablespoons confectioner sugar, 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, and put that on high until it gets nice and fluffy, but don't let it go past because you will make butter. You want to get it to where it's what they call stiff peak. I would say that looks pretty good. When you pull it out and it kind of stays in place, that's how you know it's done. And if you bring it too far, it will break up. I mean, that's how you make butter. You just keep whipping cream until butter happens, basically. Just don't want it to go past this consistency, but this looks perfect. My interview with Magnolia Bakery back in the day, they had me whip cream and I was talking to the women, and I'm very chatty. So we got off on a side tangent while I was whipping the cream, and I looked back down and I had made butter. They still hired me, which clearly they were desperate for someone to work there, but thank God. She was like, well, we were distracted by talking. But yes, it is very easy and it happens very quickly. But this and our sliced limes are going to look beautiful on top of our pie. Our key lime pie is out of the oven. I'm just letting it chill for a few more minutes. And so I'm going to put together our refreshing iced tea. So I've let my green tea steep for about 10 minutes in the refrigerator, took off a little bit of the heat, but I did fill my glass up nicely with ice. And then I have fresh mint, which smells amazing. It's like my favorite spring smell ever. And then I've got simple syrup. So simple syrup is just 1 cup of sugar to 1 cup of water, and you just boil that until it comes together, and that's it. And then you cool it down, and this is good to use for the next couple of weeks. If you want to store it in like a little squeezy bottle or something, great to have on hand at all times. So all we do, I'm going to pour my hot tea right over my ice. Then I'm going to add a couple of teaspoons of simple syrup. And you can do this to your preference. If you like it super sweet, go for it. Stir that up. And then I'm going to add like a whole sprig of this mint, maybe a little bit more because I love mint. I'm going to get a few more ice cubes too, and then this will be ready to go. I'm going to put a little bit more mint, my straw. This is gorgeous as is. Now, if you want to spike this a little bit, you can go ahead and add some bourbon to this. No one would judge you for that. And it's just a delicious, refreshing treat for a hot day. And it's going to go really nicely with our key lime pie. Ooh, that's so good. Nothing more refreshing than an iced tea. Let's go get our pie. Our pie is nice and cooled. I did actually stick this in the freezer for about 10 minutes, helped it come to room temperature in case you're in a hurry. And now we're going to decorate it. First, I'm going to top it with my whipped cream. I'm just going to take a couple of spoonfuls and put them on top, and then I will shape it with my small offset spatula. And then I want to keep it looking fluffy, so I just kind of do what I do for my cakes and make some half moon kind of circles to move it all around. But I want it to look inviting and fluffy, kind of like the top of a lemon meringue pie that looks like layered up with meringue. That's what I like it to look like with my whipped cream. That is looking so beautiful. Fluffy, yummy, delicious. And now I'm going to add my lime slices. So out of the lime that I cut, I got 6 slices. I think I said 8 to 10 is what the recipe calls for, however many you got. But just make them look really round and pretty. Make sure they're kind of like the perfect slice, because these are just going to be decoration. I'm just going to put them kind of around and then one in the middle. And this is all to kind of how you like it. So there's no rhyme or reason really to how I'm putting these on. I think this looks super cute, but I'm just gonna wipe off my crust. I'm just gonna use a wet paper towel and my finger to just kind of clean up the edges, and then this is ready to be served. All right, so I just stick my finger in a wet paper towel. This is my trick for cleaning edges of my cakes too, and then I'm gonna run my finger just along the edges, get rid of the loose graham cracker crumbs. You're gonna think I'm crazy, but I'm gonna fix how I have the limes. I didn't like how I had them laying. I want them kind of upright, so I'm flipping them around. Just game time decision. I'm OCD about this, but I want it to look as cute as possible. So just flipping them over to the other side. There we go. I think this looks way better. Again, there's no rhyme or reason to this, but I've got a way that I like it to look, and it wasn't looking like I usually have it, so we're fixing it. Okay, now I'm happy. I think it looks really cute. How adorable is this? And what a beautiful thing to bring over to someone's house for a party or when you have people over your house. So easy, so quick. I can't wait to taste this and pair it with our iced tea. I'm so excited to cut into this and see how it pairs with our iced green tea. You may have to move your limes around for getting a nice slice out. Gorgeous key lime pie. I didn't let mine cool as much as you should let yours cool, so my crust broke a little. But if you leave it in the fridge, that crust will get nice and cold as the butter hardens, and it should all come together so that it'll be a nice firm slice. All right, let's take a bite. It's so good, so zesty, and the lime zest really comes through, gives you that like pucker, which is what you want from the key lime. But because we added the lime zest, it really lifts up the citrus. That is delicious. Let's take a sip. That is the perfect pairing. The mint and the lime could not be a better combo. This is a great go-to to bring to dinner parties. Great for the warm weather approaching. It's a people pleaser. You're gonna love it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like and subscribe. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.